All right. That's fucking me. How are you?
That is you. How are you doing, sir? It's good to see you.
Of course it's me. You were asking for me. You get me.
Oh, wow. Man, what a great way to start the morning. How are you? Where are you at today, man? What's going on?
What you saying? Good morning.
Well, for
I'm
me,
already with my second beer.
well, it is St. Patrick's Day. I don't know how much Irish there is in you, but there's enough Irish in all of us today to make that work, I think.
All right, there you go.
Well,
So somebody told me you got a couple of questions.
I do. I do have a couple questions. Welcome.
What's the first one?
The first one is you and Helloween are bringing your tour, Forces United tour, to the United States starting in May in Dallas. How exciting is this? You guys are back in the United States for the first time since the release of your self-titled album, Helloween.
I'll
This is
tell you
very
something.
exciting.
I'll tell you something. First time I heard about Dallas was, of course, there was a serial thing going on, but Dallas 1 p.m. from Saxon was my first impression of being of Dallas at all. Just joking, you know. But what was the question again?
The tour, it's coming to the United States for the first time since your new album has come out. You'll be able to play songs off the Helloween 2021 album for the first time in America and in Canada. This is very exciting. United Forces tour with Hammerfall.
And that's got to be a great thing we do, because we're hanging around with Hammerfall for the whole European tour, and it's going to be great. I mean, the understanding is nice, and you can expect a great package coming there, getting some fucking heavy metal treatment, you know, some fun nights going out there, you know.
Was it? Do you remember the first time you came to America? Because I believe you played here with like Grim Reaper and maybe even Armored Saint the first time you guys ever came to America. Do you have?
Oh, fuck, I remember all of it. I remember each and every second, you know. I remember each and every fucking drink I ordered at the Rainbow Bar in Los Angeles, you know, hanging out with the guys, hanging out there. Of course, I remember. That's my life, you know, that's still my life. But it's great. I mean, Anthrax is still around, playing every festival in Europe, doing great. And well, Grim Reaper is hanging out, doing some festivals. But you know, this is all good, great memories. Coming back to this, going to America is like great memories. Since I was a young guy, I'm touring the States, I'm touring the world, coming back to all those places I've seen. Like, we're talking about the 80s, right?
We are.
When
Yes.
when heavy metal was big in America. And you know, how can I say this? The girls were just like dressed in the gear waiting for you, right? This is
Yes.
not going to happen anymore. But whatsoever, as we're getting older, we don't need this anymore. But it's still fun coming over there, playing for those who like it, because this is my life.
It is. And you actually, so I'm in Kansas City. The first time you were ever in Kansas City was in 1987. You played here at the Uptown Theater with Grim Reaper, with Armored Saint. That is amazing. I was only 3 years old, Michael, so I wasn't there, but it was, what a memory that is. Kansas City, you've been here. That's where I am in the Midwest in Kansas City. So you've been here before, and you're going to be in Dallas, Texas to start this tour, and the memories will be tremendous. Helloween, what a legacy you guys have created. You guys have done such a creative, and hey, there may not be as many women, but there will be people like me, Michael, doing this. So
yeah, but once you're getting older, and I was always like a kind of guy hanging out on the bar, talking to guys, and I'm a live guy. I'm not so much on the internet, and I'm not this influencer guy type of guy being on the internet. If you see me, you'll see me on a bar where I'm playing. You know, I'm a live guy. I play. I go to the bar. I talk to people. face to face.
And your
Know what
fans,
I'm
and the fans of Helloween appreciate that, and there are so many around the world. And to be able to bring this album that you guys did, your self-titled album 2021 Helloween, to be able to play those songs has to be extremely special, because COVID kind of ruined so many shows for so many people, but now you get to revisit that album and play those songs from that album, right?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It's been a rough time for everybody, but so what? Everybody had rough times in lifetimes anyway. So we had this rough times, and Halloween is a kind of event. I call it like all-time survivors, full-time survivors. You can't kill Halloween. You can't kill Halloween with a pandemic kind of situation. We always keep on coming back. We always keep on coming. You can't resist Halloween. We keep on coming. and it's what's life about. It's strange situations, but you got to carry on. You got to make plans for something that's not working now, but maybe later, if you know what I mean. But you never give up. You never give up. And you're booking tours, and then there's a pandemic time coming at you. It was strange. It was weird for all of us. But we're very, very lucky coming back, being allowed to coming to your place, playing there. That's what keeps us alive. That's what keeps us alive. People starving for rock and roll entertainment, you know?
Especially, yeah. Especially bands like Helloween that have such a lasting legacy. I always wondered how you, Markus, found heavy metal music, because as I understand it, you grew up kind of playing in punk bands, covering Sex Pistols and bands like that. How did you find this great thing that we like to call heavy metal?
I don't know. To me, it's not cold heavy metal, rock and roll, rockabilly. To me, it's great music. I call it rock and roll. Is the general kind of thing I like. Rock and roll to me is punk music. I like a lot. I like rockabilly music a lot. I like heavy metal music a lot. I like rock and roll and blues, like Walter Trout, an American. You know him, Walter Trout, an American blues player playing kind of hard blues music. It doesn't matter what you listen to. It's got to come. It's got to touch your heart. And once you find something touching your heart, you go for it. You know what I'm talking?
Of course.
It's not a matter of what kind of music you listen to. It's a matter of how you feel it right into your heart.
How does it feel? You're still such a young man, Markus. You're still so young out there. You've been around for so many years, but you're still so young. Do you still feel like young at heart and at spirit?
I'm feeling younger than I am, really.
Well,
because I'm started off with punk music.
That's perfect. Of course. You at one point filled in, I believe, for Ian Hill and Judas Priest. What was that like?
Oh, that was like a blast. That was like a blast. I mean, we're talking about music and feelings and emotions. Listening to that music gives you like a push, like a push in your life, and you want to go for something like this. Being a musician, or at this time trying to be a musician, being like 18, 19 years old, 15 years old, this was something. You know what I'm talking about? It's so emotional. And if you intend to be a musician, aiming for some rock and roll, this was everything was there. Rock and roll was just like there. And if you want to go for rock and roll, you find it. You find it. You just gotta search, and you find the right bands, and you find your, how can I say this? You find your revolution, you find your rock and roll, and all this music, starting with Chuck Berry to The Who, to Judas Priest, to Led Zeppelin, the Beatles. You want to have a revolution when you're young, right? That's what we're talking about. And that's what I all went through. And you got to listen to this music, and it's all like in the lyrics and the behaviors and this punk kind of anti kind of thing whatsoever. I call it rock and roll. It's not the same anymore today, but that's where I started. You know what I mean? It's just like you go for your own life. You're searching for your own identity.
That's interesting. Do you feel justified as a musician when a band like Helloween and you play, obviously you're going to be playing some great venues here in America, but when you play festivals like Wacken or the Download Festival and you've got 70, 80,000 people that are singing along with these Helloween songs and it still means so much to them over these years, does it feel like that kind of, it feels like your career is so justified when that happens and it's still happening in 2023?
I'll tell you something. This is great. This is so great. And you haven't got, actually, you would say you haven't got control as like seven people on a stage, standing on a stage doing their stuff, having control about 70,000 people. But it's working if you do the right thing. If you are able to send a message like we do, like we stand for freedom, we stand for, we stand for peace. Halloween's music is we're always singing about freedom. And when everybody agrees, that's a lifter. That's lifting you up, Know what I'm talking about? That gives you the feeling, all right, something in my life I did right, being in this band, and a lot of people agreeing what I am singing. I was trying to say, it's tolerance, it's agreement, it's like they want to have the same kind of thing that I want. That's peace, that's love. Even though it sounds kind of old, but we need freedom, we need tolerance, we need whatever we need in this crazy times. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's what we need. And that's what Helloween is standing for, I would say. And everybody agrees. If it's 100,000 people agreeing with us, it's not only about the music. They might agree with the music, but they might also agree with the message about being about freedom, tolerance, and all that kind of stuff, and peace and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking?
Yes.
That's what I have the feeling in a big place, like if this was your question.
Yes, it is.
This feeling I got when I'm playing in front of so many people I can't control, but then they seem to kind of like us, and there's a reason, because we are standing for peace, tolerance, and freedom. So that gives me it's not so, it's also about transporting with the music. That's my kind of thing I want to say. That there's a message.
Rock music to me should exemplify freedom. And the first time I ever heard Eagle Fly Free, that's what that means. I think that Helloween song says everything about what the band is and what it stands for and what rock and roll stands for. Eagle Fly Free resonated with me as a very young child. So remember, that stuff means stuff to people, and that is important. That's great. Markus, we're out of time. You probably have more. You got a lot of interviews to do today. Yes.
But I tell you something. There's so many politicians telling you what to do and what to vote and what to do.
Yes.
Here and there. But I tell you something. Rock and roll, people can decide. And it achieved so much more voters than any fucking politicians. You know what I mean?
I love,
And
yes.
it's more right than any politics, because rock and roll is always true. You
Marcus,
know,
that's
not a joke. I'm standing for it.
that means a lot. That means a lot to people like me. And I'm glad you said that. And I want you to keep flying that flag, please. We need that. I know you've got a lot of interviews to do today, Marcus.
We need
Yes.
more of it.
We have to have more of it. I'm about to my end of all of it. So thank you for those great words, and have a tremendous day. I know you got a lot of interviews to do. We will see you Helloween here in the States beginning May 13th in Dallas, Helloween.com. Thank you so much, Marcus. Have a great day, sir.
All right. You can't get rid of Helloween. We're never gonna die. We always come for peace and tolerance. You're right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good day. You bet.